Alright guys, so welcome to this video. Today I have a very special guest. His name is Timo and he has the background in finances and mathematical from you got your degree from Berlin, isn't it? Can you walk me
Yeah, that's
through?
right. It's the Technical University in Berlin,
Mm-hmm.
quite well known, I think, worldwide for mathematics, physics, and all this kind of technical subjects.
Beautiful. Cool. So I guess the first question people want to know is like, what exactly do you do? Like, walk us through, some examples of how you help traders, investors on all of the algorithm trading.
Right. So I would say what I do or what we do, because we're a few people at Block Research, is trying to build very good quant trading systems that is available for retail.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't really compete with big quant trading firms that have like 70 PhDs only for cleaning the data. We don't have
Mm-hmm.
those resources, but we have a few very good people, and on a small scale, we are building those quant trading signals and even full trading systems like Vin Premium and Tyson Pro that people can use for their relatively small accounts. So the alpha is valid until 150 million USD is applied on, at least for Tyson. For Vin,
Mm-hmm.
it's not possible to measure because it really depends on the setup. So I would say it's probably limitless because some people use it on some assets on one
Yeah.
exchange, other people use it on different time frames on other exchanges, and some people use it on different time frames. And there will not be any front running from other quant traders that like see, oh, at this price, at this asset, there's always from these specific traders limit order place. We're gonna place our limit order 0.1% above them and take the liquidity, basically extract their alpha. That would not be possible with Win because everybody's using their own settings. I think we'll get into the details of those strategies later. Does that answer the question?
Yeah. Yeah, it does pretty well. But you mentioned a couple of times quant trading. So for someone that doesn't have any idea what that even means, what would you like what's a good way to describe it on your end? What would you on your definition, what is quant trading?
I would say for people who don't know at all what to do with that term, quant trading is a little bit like weather forecast. So, in weather forecast, which is one of the most complex fields in data science,
Mm-hmm.
is you have this huge amount of data also for weather reports on different time frames. You can check like, hey, last year, how did it develop from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. or from 1 p.m. to 1:15 p.m. And from all those data points, you can make forecasts depending on the region, like depending on the asset. And basically, it's building statistical models with large scale big data
I
and
see.
trying to make predictions still from it's still PA, it's still making predictions from past experiences, but it
Mm-hmm.
has a ton of more data than just drawing some lines into your chart.
Yeah. And when you say it's also making predictions based on data, what data is it using? Like, how does it measure? What type of data is it taking into consideration?
It's nothing like some secret data source. It's really just the data that comes from the exchanges, tick data, price action, volume, and there's nothing like fundamental analysis or some secret news data.
Hmm.
It's really just based on numbers, like any other trade has access to.
Yeah. So you're saying the algorithms you create, they grab data from different exchanges, and then how do they use that data to make predictions?
Well, the process is you do your research and you find some inefficiency. When a Tyson, it's based on market exhaustion,
Hmm.
and I don't have access to the code. It's maybe if you channel, we're working with a quant that worked for 15 years on the Amsterdam Stock Exchange, and the Tyson signals are delivered from him to us, and we are basically reselling the Tyson signals and use them ourselves. And what we learned from that, we also put into our own algorithm, which is just a trading view script, which is Win Premium.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But the way he went is really by understanding the markets and seeing, like in the Tyson example, at this point when prices have dropped so dramatically, nobody is, or just a very few people are willing to buy because fear is so high
Of the price
and
dropping.
when of the price drop, like people think, okay, it's dead, it's got to zero. So
Right.
when there's a Tyson signal, it's usually after a heavy sudden price drop, and then volatility slows down and stabilizes. Still, not many people are willing to buy because fear is still so high. But when volatility has slowed down, you have the opportunity to place a limit order with a very tight stop loss, with a 5% stop loss in our case, which maybe doesn't sound so tight if you compare it to like 3 commas targets or bit targets like 1-2%. But we have a take profit of 100% and a stop loss of just 5%. So the ratio is very extreme, 1 to 12
Jesus. So
risk to
explain that.
reward ratio.
Can you explain more about that ratio of take profit being 100% and stop loss 5%? What do you mean by that?
Okay, we enter with a limit order at
Mm-hmm.
a certain price, not at the market price. Usually it's like 5 to 10, 15% lower. And this limit order is in the market for 7 days. So the limit order is active for 7 days. If it gets filled, it's filled. If it doesn't get filled, it's going to be canceled and new limit orders can be placed. And then there are, of course, the exits. So stop loss at 5% and 4 take profits of up to 100%. So every 25%, there's a take profit. So we sell 1/4 of the position at 25%, one at 50,
Mm-hmm.
one at 75, one at 100. And if it doesn't reach the 100, it's getting also sold automatically after 42 days. So quite specific money management.
Yeah.
And therefore, it's also only possible. I think we looked for an execution platform for like a year or something. We try to build it ourselves. We try to build it through the 3 commas smart trades at first, and
Smart
actually the
contracts,
whole
I believe.
the smart trade. They have DCA bots and they have smart trade bots.
Okay.
And the smart trade bots, you can set several take profits and sell just partial positions. It's
Mm-hmm.
not possible with the DCA bots, or it would be possible to sell partial positions with the reduced funds JSON, but it's really not made for that. So the only platform that could execute Tyson was AllTradey. We are using that. Yeah, maybe let me share my screen. So this is AllTradey,
Okay.
and you have these very distinct money management parameters here in the settings. You have the entry order expiration that I talked about of 7 days, and you have the 4 take profit levels of 25%, 50%, 75, and 100. And you have the stop loss of 5%. You can even put a protection. So when the first take profit is reached, the stop loss will be moved from 5% to the initial entry price,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
which would be break even. Sometimes I
Mm-hmm.
use follow take profit. So at the second take profit, we'll go to the first one and so on. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll chase price a bit. And this is now at 42 days, the time-based auto close. And maybe we can take a look into the performance. This is a small $2,000 account that was untouched last year.
Okay.
And you can see it's not the full year. Of course, like the first 2 or 3 months are missing. And here at the peak, end of the year was here. Yeah, it was 700 in a profit. And what I talked about earlier, you see the individual trades. No, let me do that again. So this account started at around $1,000 and at the peak was 748 in a profit. So around
74%.
74.8,
Yeah.
74%, plus what happened in the beginning here, which wasn't tracked. And if you scroll down here, the closed positions, you can see individual trades, or if there were more closed trades than one on one day,
Yeah.
you will see a batch of trades for that particular day. And what's really nice about this graph is how you can see how the losers are cut at 5%, and the winners, if it goes into all take profits,
Yeah.
will make up 62.5. Why
Yeah.
not 100? Because we take profits already at 25, 50, 75. So the average of that will be 62.5. So it's
Yeah.
not a 1 to 20 risk to reward ratio, it's a 1 to 12
Hmm.
because it will not be only 100% profit.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, before we move on into that, all of this process where it's a DCA bot, correct?
Not at all.
No, it's not a
With
DCA bot. Okay.
it's one signal. It's entering one time, and either it
Mhm.
gets stopped out at 5% or it goes to those take profits. Stop loss and DCA combined doesn't really make sense.
Okay. So it's more of a signal that it's been entered on the exchange through 3 commas. Is that right? Is that accurate?
It's not 3 commas, it's all trading, right?
Okay.
3 commas is not able to do that,
Okay.
or is not made for that, as I said.
Hmm.
And the process, let me go into our members area. Okay, so if you're subscribed to Tyson, you get those signals here every day, scroll through them, also get them in Discord, but you don't really need to care for that because the automation will
Hmm.
take care of all of this. And from this execution platform, AllTrady,
Hmm.
which sends your signals to Binance,
Yeah.
or KuCoin or Bybit,
Bybit.
you just enter your API keys, hit signal automation, alert
And then
automation,
save.
that,
Hmm.
and that's
So I
all the
guess
setup.
people usually say there is not such thing as passive income, even if you invest in real estate. What are your thoughts on this? Like, would you say this is 100% passive income, 90%? What is what are your thoughts on people saying passive income doesn't exist?
I agree, definitely.
Hmm.
It's for sure not 100% passive. One reason can just be you need to monitor if maybe Binance has a bank run, like it happened with FTX, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
And there might be sometimes small errors, like a position doesn't get sold 100%. You need to go into your Binance account, sell it manually. It happens
Hmm.
rarely, but you still need to monitor things. Maybe for some reason the automation stopped. I think it never happened just because of user errors. Maybe you start to play around, and but yeah, in general, it's definitely more on the passive side, but nothing can be 100% passive. Even if you have real estate, right? You have to still manage it or give it to
Yeah.
somebody to manage. And for sure, they will call you once a year.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there is not. I have a property in Arizona, and even though the tenants paid every month, I still have to make sure they pay because sometimes they forget. So there is not such thing as 100% passive income. Agreed. So in this case, this is what we call quant trading, isn't it? Like the whole process of getting the signal, sending the signal through an API key to the exchange and entering the signal. Is that what we call, is that the definition for quant trading?
No, that's just our framework, how we set up the process for the
Hmm.
user, the way we found it to be most simple. I would say quant trading involves the research process. Um, and algo trading is really just the execution. You code the algorithm, you let the algorithm do the trading. So quant trading is more the bigger word, including research and execution and monitoring. Yeah, but definitely. both is very algorithmical and
Hmm.
mathematical and based on huge numbers. That's definitely different to day trading and a pattern kind of thinking.
I see. So I guess the question that a lot of people want to know is if they are someone, well, of course, if they are someone interested in crypto, they are for sure watching this video right now. But if they are investors, they are traders, they want to start into the automated trading side of things, how can quant trading and your whole automation help them? What are some of the results you have seen from your clients? What are the results you experience yourself when you implement this system?
Yeah, I can show that to you very easily because on our website, if you go to Tyson Pro, you will immediately see the performance report. Um, and this is live since June. So the rest is backtesting. Of course, the backtesting has some much higher numbers, like it's usually the case, but I think we can still be very happy about this full year of real life trading with the 100%. And we even caught some of this, although it was already um, really in the bear market. And yeah, this year we are seeing some three times like -9%, some difficulties. I mean, it's still in a profit, but it's very slow. I don't know if there's already front running happening or if it's due to quite low volatility, especially since I think April. Um, yeah, but I think still results, if you compare it to classical finance world, results to be very proud about. And soon we will also have a public account that you can follow because I just found out um, something you can also post under your video. You don't even need an account. You can simply share this link and watch the real account performance analysis with all the same chart that I showed you before, all the single trades, and even a list of the assets. So can't be more transparent than that. Won three times, won one time, lost zero. And of course, down here, there's a ton of stop losses. But I can show you here on my account. So the win rate is very, very low. This is actually
27%.
was quite a high win rate here. On average, we're at 18% win rate. 18,
Hmm. Yeah, but I guess
which
you
is
have to
enough
take
because you
into
have that risk to reward ratio of 5 to 12.
exactly. Yeah, that's what I was about to mention. You have a take profit that is 100% bigger than the stop loss if done, if taken
12 times
12
bigger if
times.
all take profits are reached. Yeah.
Hmm.
But that's for beginners or people that come from DCA or grid, and they always have a 100% win rate until they lose everything. This is very hard to get used to. Took me like 3 4 months in the beginning. Like, oh, stop loss, oh, another stop loss, stop loss.
Hmm. And that's
Yeah.
because the bot, well, there is no such thing as a bot that is 100% accurate or 100% perfect. But based on, I did the quick math on based on the numbers, the bot has been able to generate the percentages, and looks like you're averaging about a 5% this year, 5% a month this year, which is still pretty good because I mean the stock market pays you 8% a year, if so. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So 5% a month, it's pretty solid.
And especially for really big accounts, um, because you have a very good control of how much you can lose. So let's say you're 100% allocated because what I didn't mention yet, we don't, if there's a signal, we don't go in with 100% of the account, of course. We go in with 5% of the account, or sometimes we switch it to just 3%. So
Hmm.
with 3%, you can have 33 different positions open. And if there's a sudden drop, like Swan or yeah, just a normal drop, will lose in total 5% because each of these 33 positions have a 5% stop loss. And
Hmm.
in case you have a $1 million account, okay, you lose those 5%, but then you can turn it off if you think, oh, this is gonna drop further. So it's not like you're gonna be
Hmm.
trapped at minus 50, minus 60%, like with some DCA strategies.
Yeah. So in that case, that is when you mentioned that this is not 100% automated because you still have to do some checking on your end. For example, if there is some news that are coming up, or worst case scenario,
I
Binance or
I'm
KuCoin.
not I'm not doing that, but you could do that. But it's not part of the strategy that if you have to watch out for the news.
Ah, okay. Okay. All right. I see. Okay. Pretty good. Yeah, I was going through your website and I noticed you have like different plans. Can you just walk us through kind of like the difference on the plans and what purpose does each indicator has? Can you walk us through that?
Yeah, for sure. Let me share my screen again and let's go on the website. We have a free tool. It's a trading view indicator. It's called Block
Mm-hmm.
Flex, and it's basically a research tool which gives you 13 indicators, which is, I think, 10 out of them are the ones that you have in the 3 comma steel start conditions. And I never knew what to do with them without looking at them, just randomly pick some and put in some numbers. Doesn't make sense. So you can, let me actually show it to you on TradingView. So it's a little bit like Lux Algo. You can use it like Lux Algo. I made a few videos about that, how Lux Algo is actually just the super trend. So if you want the like to get the Lux Algo out of the block Algo flags,
Mm-hmm.
just pick the super trend, or you
Mm-hmm.
can just also pick the super trend from the publicly available trading view scripts. And if you want to quickly see some kind of combination works, because maybe you found a video on YouTube and they said, hey, if you combine the super trend with the MACD, you're going to be a millionaire. You can just pick those two and see if there are any confluences that make sense. And yeah, there is not. It looks really random. So instead of testing that idea with real money or with a lot of hours and pointing out, looking both those moments manually by looking at these indicators, you can just checkbox them and yeah, use it like that. Or my very much favorite single indicator setting is I with a length of 2 under 99. No, by condition under 1 or sell condition greater than 99. And if you put that on the daily, you can get pretty amazing signals.
So is this more used for swing trading, like, or day trading? I'm guessing it's swing trading.
You can use it for anything, right? You can also go to the 1 minute chart and see if that setting has any alpha there. And then you can use the alerts from the block algo flags and oops, restart here. Sorry. Or you can use the alerts from the block algo flags and just um, whenever there's a signal like this, you will start a bot or
Mm-hmm.
um, get a message on your phone, whatever you like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's not a strategy, right? It's a research tool and very flexible to test things. You can also combine it with Zendog. Probably you heard about that.
No, I haven't.
Zendog is basically mimicking the 3 commas DCA bots,
Okay.
and you have some extended statistics, how many orders closed with how many safety orders, how many trades closed with how many safety orders, stuff like that. And it also allows you to input external signals,
Hmm. I see. So the goal with
external
this,
indicators.
I see. So kind of like the goal of these indicators is to do all of the heavy lifting and give the bots a clear signal or when to buy and when to sell. Is that how it works?
You can use it like that,
Mm-hmm.
but the idea is more um, what I saw many people doing when they try to build their first indicator based strategy
Yeah.
is they would pull up the RSI and stochastic
Mm-hmm.
and by hand look at the curves that they give you and like,
Mm-hmm.
at this point, this was at this number, at this point, this was at this number, and then maybe go into the chart and marking those points by hand, which is really imprecise, and you're gonna miss a lot and you're gonna mess up a lot. And of course, this has to be completely automated
Yeah.
with a tool like that.
Yeah. I see. That's pretty interesting. It's actually is because I mean, first of all, emotional decisions are taken away. It's only based on data and you just start making smart trades overall as well.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then the last tool we didn't talk about yet. So we talked about Tyson a lot. And then we have Win Premium.
Okay.
The entries are kind of similar. It's also looking for sell-off events and trying to get in there. And you can kind of imagine it like Tyson mixed with DCA and mixed
Okay.
with the volatility model that will determine the distance between the safety orders automatically. First, let's look into the quality of the entries. Where you see already the entries are like pretty precise.
Yeah.
Always
Mhm.
in, if they work out, they're always at pretty much the lowest point where you can get in. Like, what an amazing entry here in the 15-minute time frame.
Yeah.
It's the take profit is now randomly set to 5, and here it didn't work out so well. And you can see from a low volatility cluster,
Hmm.
from low volatility usually comes low volatility, comes high volatility.
Yeah.
Sounds funny, but it's often like that. You have certain periods of time where it stays low and then it just stays high. So the algorithm detects that, and you can see between the base order and the first safety order was just 0.95% distance. And then here, volatility picked up. So Vin has up the volatility model, saying, hey, we have to increase the minimum distance between safety orders. So the next one was at 3%. Sounds very low. Let's go to some higher time frames, and you can see maybe a more dramatic difference. But the entries are too good. Yeah, you see, it's always going straight into the profit from the.
Yeah. Yeah. It is pretty accurate. Like what
Yeah,
from
here's
let's
one.
say, all right.
That's a nice example. Sorry, one second.
Yep.
Because on this candle, I'm pretty sure the volatility indicator, the volatility model has already opened up.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there would have been another safety order after 3% or
Hmm.
something. But it waited really nicely until this low here, which is 12% away.
Hmm. Okay. So how many trades does it usually, or how many signals does it usually send per day?
That completely depends
Yep.
on how many assets you set up. You mean for one asset? Do you mean on which time frame?
For
Because
example, let's do Bitcoin on the 4 hour time frame.
yeah, that's very, very low.
Hmm.
Um,
Like three, four
I don't know, let's
signals a day.
say 1, 2, 3, 4. Like this was even a fast period. So it's in
Hmm.
50 days, 4 signals. So 4 hour time frame is very high quality signals
Hmm.
and not many. But the way I usually set it up, like
Yeah.
this is an untouched real money account with Win Premium, only
Hmm.
Win, and yeah, profit is now at 600 something. So it started at around 1.5K. It's now at
Yeah.
2.1. And if you go into the history, you can see this one very long times. This one was open for 3 months. But
Okay.
then here we had 16 hours, 12 days, four
Hmm.
days, 1 day, 28 days, 1 day. And there can be times when it's just like 1 hour or a few minutes. Let's go back in history a bit more. 12 hours, 19 hours, 18 hours, 10 hours, 5 days.
Hmm.
Really depends on the market situation, right? 4 hours,
Yeah.
3 days, something around that area. And this setup has 20 alerts on TradingView, but a
Okay.
maximum of 6 open positions at the same time in 3 commas. And when you just ask me for how many signals come from those 20 pairs on TradingView on the 15-minute time frame, probably somewhere between 5 and 20, 30 per day.
Yeah. Yeah. I
But
see.
not all of them will get executed because maybe you're at full allocation with the 6 open pairs. I think it's limited to 6. Let me check that. Images. Why can I not see it here? Yeah. Okay. It's limited to 6 max active deals.
Yeah.
And after that,
Mhm.
they will just run into the error log.
I see that is customizable. So you can, if you wanted to, of course, change it to 20 active deals or 30 or 50.
Yeah. Or you can increase if you got instead of 10K account, 100K account, you put another 0 at your base order and the same in premium settings. So go from 60 to 600. And with that, the max position size will dramatically increase to 2 million.
Yeah. Yeah. I see. Yeah, of course. And you
Yeah,
recommend to only trade with about 5% of your account size.
yeah, right. We had some weird settings in here. So
Mhm.
what I usually do is 5 safety orders, but most of the time you can see most of the time 0 will be used. Sometimes 2, 3, rarely 5. A martingale volume scale, or you can also go down to 1.5 if you want to decrease your max position size. And then the base order size from which the safety order size is calculated is completely dependent on your account size, right? With that 1,500 $1,500 account, I had 6 times 60.
Yeah.
So each position can have a maximum of 1.2K. And you wonder why 6 positions of 1.2 is much more than 1.5, obviously.
Yeah.
But since mostly only the base order will be used, you can over allocate or also use futures for that. So in case there's drop and you need quick money for a short time, it's actually quite beneficial to use futures to get out of the trade early.
But that's something you would recommend to, and when you say futures, you mean also using leverage in your positions?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. I mean, cross.
Yeah.
Well, okay, if we have this one, if we have those 1,247 dollar positions and 6 of those, say we have 7.5K. And if
Hmm.
you have a 1.5K account, that's 5x leverage, basically.
Yeah. But then 7,482 account size based on the leverage. All right. Yeah, 7,482 account leverage. Then 5% of that, it's gonna be like $380 per trade. That is how you essentially use it, isn't it? Is that accurate?
380, um, 7.5K divided by 1.5K is 5, correct?
Okay.
So if you're using, if you have all 6 positions opened with all 5 safety orders filled for each position, you have allocated 7.5K, so the 5x leverage of your account size.
Okay.
If it then drops, if everything on average then drops another 20%, you're going to be liquidated. So that's the risk. 2 things: very unlikely that everything is going to be filled at the same time. Um, and then also very unlikely that it's going to drop another 20%. Because if volatility is already so high, the safety order distance is gonna be huge.
Okay.
But yeah, theoretically, definitely can happen that you get liquidated with that. But I think if you just trade 5 or 10K, it's worth it to take that little extra risk because it's gonna be so much faster. And here the profit has been very consistent at 5% per month. If you put a 5x leverage on that, because this is purely spot, you
Hmm.
might end up with 25% per month. Quite a low risk still.
Yeah. So say somebody that doesn't want to risk it too much, they are quite conservative. On your experience, what is the monthly growth they see from their account? Someone that wants to be quite conservative with their account.
Well, then I would do that exact setup, which will also be after subscribing. You will also be able to find it in the docs
Mm-hmm.
under settings. You will find that exact account setup, which assets and
Mm-hmm.
which settings I have used to achieve those very consistent 5% per month.
Okay. We're looking at a 5% monthly growth with a setup that it's quite conservative, and you provide essentially support videos, tutorials on how to set it up properly. That's correct.
Exactly. There
That's
are the
cool.
docs and there are videos for both if you want to set it up with recommerce, which I would very much recommend, or if you have already Tyson, don't want to
Mm-hmm.
also book recommerce, you can also use it with Altrady, but there can be some errors.
Mm-hmm. I see. And if you're someone that wants to be more aggressive, they are willing to take the risk. What's the monthly grow they have experienced? Somebody that is quite aggressive with their approach.
The most extreme case somebody wrote me on Discord was something like 40-50% in a month.
Jeez,
I
that.
don't know how well it probably it got liquidated after a while. Didn't catch up on that.
Mhm.
But yeah, let me give you a live example right now.
Sure, let's take a look. I'm guessing this is gonna be like your community, isn't it?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
my Discord community.
Mm.
And here I asked one guy to if we can use this as a testimonial.
Yeah. Mm.
And he said, I made $700 in 13 days, which is quite arbitrary because I don't know his account size right now. Ah, no, here it is. 30,000,
Capital. Mhm.
30,000 with 2x leverage. And he made 700 on that. Yeah, which is like 7-8% in a month if you upscale that to 1 month. Still not as aggressive, right? 2x.
Yeah.
So I would say with a 5x, you should definitely be able to achieve 15-20%.
Yeah. Yeah. If
I
you're looking
wouldn't
for the more.
I wouldn't recommend to go way above that.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing. On the crypto space, and you probably have noticed this as well, there is so much crap out there. People thinking you're gonna 100x, 500x, 1000x your portfolio. And yes, when well, they can happen. For anyone who's watching these are great results, like 5%, 10%, 15%. It's exceptional for as a monthly growth, because just compare that to any other investing out there. Like real estate gives you a 3% a year, maybe 7% a year. Stocks give you 8%. Um, what else do we have?
Get the leverage on that you get on real estate, right? So the 5% is not really true. If you put in 10% of the capital yourself, the rest comes from the bank. It's basically a 10x leverage from the bank.
Mm.
If you play it well, the game, you can also end up at 50% per year.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But even if you make, let's say, 5% a month, it's a 60% a year. In a $100,000 account side, that is $60,000. So it's pretty good. So, yeah, well, I guess the last question, Timo, is for anyone, for the members that watch the entire podcast. I'm guessing, guys, you want to learn more about quant trading, automate your trading using some of the indicators Timo has built. How can people reach out to you? How can people learn more about what you do and what you offer?
Well, first go to blockresearch.ai, take a look at the website, and there you will find the Discord link where I will also answer personally or one of my team members. And yeah, you'll get all the information you need there.
Sweet. All right, guys. Awesome. The link is going to be down in the description. check out the website, and thank you for watching this video. And also I'm gonna link the YouTube channel of Timo. We also created a similar podcast talking a little bit more about CVA, grid bots, automation, and things in that nature. So if you are interested in that, you can also check it out there. But thank you, Timo, for joining.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. See you.